Welcome to this video where I'm going to teach you how to build out your online course in 7 easy to follow steps. However, although these steps are easy to follow, they're actually extremely crucial to be followed, because if you do this, you will get rid of all of the overwhelm, all of the not being sure about what to say it, or how to build it, or where to sell it, or how to market it, and etc. So without any further ado, let me go to the step is to validate your idea and to make sure that the course you want to create is in actual demand. Now, I go about this in a little bit different way than most coaches online, and that is most coaches online would advise you to send surveys to your audience, to put questions in your stories on Instagram, and etc. I'm of the opinion, well, no, actually, I'm of the experience, because I've tried this, it doesn't really work. And I tell you why it doesn't work. Because people tell you what you want to hear, and you don't want that. You want what they actually need and what they actually think. And do you know what's the only way to get people to be honest with you? That is when they pay. So this is why I always advise my clients to think about organizing a smaller offer. I will create a separate video on how you do that. But for now, let me just say, you organize and you market and you sell a smaller offer, a workshop, a masterclass, something really simple. You give your audience one transformation, one aha moment, one thing they can take away from your training. And then you will know, because even if they paid you $2, $4, $7, $27, however much you want to charge for your lower ticket, you will know that they really mean it, because people vote with their wallets. They don't really vote with being nice. I sign up to, I don't know how many free trainings per day. How many of those trainings I actually attend or I actually take action on? Not very many, simply because I'm not invested. I want to give out my email address, perhaps. I want to support that creator and etc. But I don't really need that course. So what you want the real buyers for your idea. You want the real buyers. What is it that you are selling? Only then your idea is validated. The second part of this is that you do it step by step. Now, the way I do it is because I have a brain that gets overwhelmed very easily. I need to compartmentalize everything. So I first of all think just of 3 modules. Listen, some of my courses are, 12 modules. But first of all, I start thinking about 3 modules and 5 lessons in each module. Then as I'm thinking about that, I am figuring out the path to the next and the next and the next transformation that my audience is expecting of me. And inevitably, as I am in this zone of thinking about these 3 modules, the next 3 pop up effortlessly. So I don't need to stress out about, I don't know what to talk about in these 6 modules. It just sounds so big. 30 lessons. Oh my goodness. I think just in terms of 3 modules, 5 lessons in each module, and then I build it out that way. Now, here I've put soul-led pricing. Let me just explain why I've put, I don't mean to use catchy language or trendy language, but I really do feel that we need to be okay with the price that we are charging. They had a bad experience with a product that was $7 and they didn't want to sell their lower ticket product for $7, which is absolutely fine. They sold it for, I think it's $22 or something. But and they felt really good about the number. They felt really good about the price. They felt good about the value they're going to over deliver for this particular price. So what's really important is that you sit with the number that you are going to charge. And then only then, as you are happy with that, you proceed to charge that amount. So some people are very happy. Let me give you an example. When I first started, to me, it was unthinkable that anyone would buy from me anything that was over, $5 or something. Now I happily sell coaching that's over $20,000, and I don't have a problem with saying $20,000. It's a normal number for me. So first of all, this is why the mini offer also comes in. You really get into charging your prices, you get into saying these prices, you get into getting the money. So you're getting this money flow energy. And I think it's really important because your audience can feel if you are charging something $457 or $477, but you're not quite sure about it, then put it down to 227 and then build it up, or 997. Maybe sell it for 777 and then build it up. But it really depends on what offer you are building at the time. I think this is extremely important to be paid attention to. Now, your course materials, and again, build it out gradually. You actually need to sell before you create your big course. This is where, again, mini offers come in. And also, as you are building out your mini offers, you will get the feel of what is it that your audience needs. And there are a few ways of building out your courses. You could, first of all, sell it before even creating it, and then say to people that they are beta testers and that they will get the materials in such and such date. You could also organize a group coaching program and then build out your course throughout the group coaching. And you can build out your course throughout the group coaching program. Also, people in that group coaching program will know that they are beta testers, and they will know that their also input will be really valuable to you. And also, people like being involved in something that is being built out. At least I do. I think it's really nice. And people I've worked for so far have always liked that. And I tell you, the amount of good information that you get, it is quite amazing. So tech. So here's the thing. Your course creation can be as complicated and as simple as you make it. I stay on the simpler side of things, especially for beginners. I really don't complicate things when I teach, because the tech side of things has actually prevented me from starting much earlier than what I thought, because I was just so overwhelmed because everybody kept talking this funnel and that funnel and email marketing and email corresponders, and you upload this here and you upload this there. And my head was feeling like it was going to explode. So I just kind of didn't do anything. What I then decided to do my mini course, actually workshop, that didn't work the first time and then worked really well the next time. I did it only via Google Docs. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you host the whole of your course on the Google Docs, absolutely not. But you can start in a very, very simple way and then build things out around the tech. However, I have only a few days ago migrated my courses, my whole business from Kajabi onto StanStore, also because it's so simple. I was just so amazed. Kajabi is really good. Don't get me wrong. Kajabi is really good, but it's not as simple as StanStore. And StanStore is getting to be as good as Kajabi in its functionalities. In fact, I think it's already as good. So if you are scared of tech, StanStore is the way to go because it is so simple. I literally migrated. This is hundreds of lessons and either tens of modules and work materials and everything. I migrated everything in 1.5 afternoons. It was that easy. It's just, I cannot praise StanStore enough. It is absolutely fantastic. So you can do it in a really simple way, and please don't let that be something that will stop you from creating your course. Your sales strategy. Successful sales don't start at the moment where you start selling. It actually starts a lot before, and it starts with that mini training, and then you have the sales process there. But because you're selling a lower ticket, the sales process is simpler. It doesn't have to be shorter, but it is definitely simpler. And in mindset wise, it is easier to navigate in your head. Do need a persuasive sales page. Again, this does not need to be very complicated. I usually furnish my clients with the sales page template. So we just plug in their copy. It really doesn't have to be very, very difficult. And also an email marketing system. That can be very complicated and it can be very simple. I do it the very simple way because you don't want to be writing million days, writing out 6 months long email sequences when that can actually be done gradually. And of course, you need social media presence. This goes without saying. If you're doing organic marketing, well, indeed, nowadays, even if you're doing paid marketing, you need some sort of media presence. You need a social media account. You need to be either on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or LinkedIn, somewhere. You need to frequent these places so that people can come and find out more about you, see what you're about, see how you do things, because this is how you build know, like, and trust. It's very rare. It is absolutely very rare that people will see you the first time and say, "Hmm, yeah, I'll buy that course." I've done that myself, actually quite a lot, but that's because I am that sort of a buyer. I know what I want to buy. If I see something that matches that, I just go for it. But most people actually need to wait, need to see you more, need to find out more about you. And especially if you're going to do coaching, if you're going to be spending some time with people who buy your courses, they want to know that you are here for the long haul, that you're not going to disappear after you've promised that you're going to give them, I don't know, a bonus call or a coaching call or some such thing. That's why social media presence is rather important. And then you have the launch time. You've figured out what you want to sell. You've figured out who your audience is. You've figured out what problems you're going to solve. Now the launch time. The launch time is the time when you market and when you sell. The reason why I left it last, although it does come in the reality, it comes earlier, is because I approach launches in a different way. And here is why. When you are just starting out, these set rules of pre-launch time, these many days, launch time, these many days, you post this and this and this, and you post this and that. That's so confusing to people. I have uh, downloaded, I don't know how many launch calendars pre-done for you. I spend an untold amount of money on all of those, never to use even one ever, because they were never really suited to me. So what I teach my clients is to figure out their own way of launching. I mean, of course, it has to be within some reasonable parameters. I mean, you cannot be launching and selling in one afternoon. Let me just immediately come out with that. But you need to see who your audience are, how warm they are in terms of how well they know you or not. Are they cold audiences? Have you been selling to them before? Have you just sold something? Have you ever sold a course to them? So there is a journey to be traveled. You are here, your audience is here, and you need to bridge them over to here. So they need to travel here and you need to lead them. So how big this bridge is, it's different for everyone. So this is why I teach people to really think with their head and think and learn how to assess the situation in their marketing, in their business, and then decide what's the launch time. And then we can talk. Then we can talk what's the pre-launch, what's the launch, and what's the cart open time. I know it's a bit of a long explanation, this, but I really feel passionately about this. And when you analyze everyone else's launches, you will see that that's what they do. So oftentimes, or probably always see what people do rather than what people tell you, because these launch calendars and etc. I mean, they can be useful, but just as an orientation tool rather than to be blindly followed, in my opinion. Now, do say yes in the comments if you'd like me to send you a PDF version of this with some testimonials of my work. And also, this plan is really good for you to have and to reference when you are about to create your own course. And again, I really hope you are considering creating your own course, because this industry is growing. This industry is not going anywhere. E-learning industry is one of the most prosperous industries in the world, and it's changing lives. And if you have even one single problem that you can solve for your audience, you have a course in you. Again, the course doesn't need to be 100 modules. The course can be 3 modules, can be 6 modules. It doesn't have to be very long. So let me know if you have any questions. Do find me over on Instagram. I'll leave my socials links in the description, and also let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching this video, and speak to you very soon.